Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another beautiful day. Today, we are going to be reviewing adding and subtracting fractions with models. I've got a couple of resources that may help clarify this for you a little bit and give you a new way of looking at it. So we're going to do two problems for addition, two problems for subtraction, and hopefully this clarifies things. So the first thing that we need to do is, since we are going to be doing these two different ways, I'm going to go ahead and split my page in half. Now, y'all may want to split your page horizontally instead of vertically. Since you're taking notes in your notebook, or you could put each problem on its own page, however you want to do it. We're going to start with the problem 2/3 minus 1, or 2/3 plus 1/4. So 2/3 plus 1/4. And since I'm doing this for both, I'm going to go ahead and write them both at the top. All right, now the first step for this is we're going to take 2/3 and we're going to draw it as a model where the pieces are the horizontal direction. So I'm going to take 2/3 and I'm going to draw it horizontally, which means I need to split it into 3 pieces. And shade 2/3. Okay. Now I am going to draw 1/4, but I'm going to draw these vertically. So there's 1/4, so halves and fourths. And I'm going to shade one of them. Okay. Now we've talked about creating least common denominator by multiplying the numerators by each other. So in this case, 3 times 4 is 12. And I can create a model that has 12 pieces simply by drawing the horizontal lines and the vertical lines of the two model in one. So I'm going to draw. There's my thirds. Here's my fourths. And now I have a model with 3 times 4, which is 12 pieces. So we've now turned the denominators into 12. We multiplied 3 times 4 to equal 12 and 4 times 3 to equal 12. So now I need to figure out how many of these 12 pieces each of these fractions would be. So that means that I need to take my two original models and I need to turn them into 12ths. So I'm going to take a different color. Let's do one that is a little more drastic. And I'm going to split this into fourths. And I'm going to split this, just using little dashes, into thirds. So now I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces shaded. So my 2/3 turned into 8/12. And I need to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8/12. And I can now see that my 1/4 turned into 1, 2, 3/12. So I need to shade in 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And now I can see that I have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 pieces shaded out of 12. Eight plus 3 equals 11. Our denominator does not change. All right, so there's the first strategy. Let's take a look at the second way to look at this. And actually, we're going to talk about 3 ways to look at this. I completely forgot that I have 3 ways for this one. So we're going to start with this next piece. And we need to create 2 fraction strips that are the same length. Okay, I need to represent 2/3 and 1/4. So I'm going to split half and quarters. And just like the first time, I'm going to shade 2/3 and 1/4. Okay. Now my second step is to create fraction strips with equivalent pieces. Again, we multiply the denominators together. So 3 times 4 is 12. So I need to make sure that each of these bars has 12 pieces in all. So that means that I need to split these halves and fourths, halves and fourths. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'm going to split these in thirds. Now I understand that my fraction bars aren't perfect. These pieces should be lining up just about the same, but when you hand draw things, it's not going to be exactly perfect, and that's okay. So now I'm going to draw another fraction strip, and I'm going to show the progression of this. So I need 12 pieces in all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I took my 2/3 and I turned it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shaded out of 12. And I turned 1/4 into 1, 2, 3 out of 12. That was a bad 3, I'm sorry. And now I need to transfer all of these pieces into my new bar. So I'm going to start with my 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then color in the 3. 1, 2, 3. And just like the first time, this gives us a final sum of 11/12. Now the last way that you might want to do this, because it may work for you, I'm actually going to take this paper and I'm going to fold it to give myself a section along the bottom. Let's see here. Okay. I can use a number line. So I'm going to actually, or no. Well, yeah, we could technically use a number line, but that's going to connect more to multiplication. So we're actually going to stop there because I don't want to confuse you. So let's move on to our subtraction. Let's just make this straightforward addition and subtraction. I do not want to confuse you with multiplication. All right. So we are going to start with 3/4 minus 1/2. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you have been rather confused with subtraction of fractions. So I want to make sure that we decrease this confusion. All right, so we're going to kind of take some of the same steps, but a little bit differently. So I know that I have a total of 3/4, and I'm taking away 1/2. So I'm removing 1/2. So I'm going to start with 3/4. And this may look familiar, and that's okay. It's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going to start with 3/4. And I need to take away 1/2. So I need to remove 1/2. Okay. Now, I know most of you are going, okay, Ms. Pike, this doesn't make sense. Why are you drawing this model? It will make sense momentarily. Bear with me. So just like when we were doing these models here, we had to find a common denominator. And we had to turn both of our fractions into equivalent fractions that had the same denominator, meaning that 2/3 was equivalent to 8/12 and 1/4 was equivalent to 3/12 in order to add them. Well, we need to create equivalent fractions of 3/4 and an equivalent fraction of 1/2 where both of the equivalent fractions have the same denominator. So I still have to change these somehow in order to subtract them. All right, so I know that I need to multiply 4 times 2 and 2 times 4. So that means that I'm going to split this model in half and this model in fourths, just like we did up here. We drew the vertical line from this model and the horizontal lines from this model. Now we're rocking and rolling. Now we've got some comparison here. So now I'm going to redraw the model with all of the lines in place. So I have it in half and I have it in fourths. And we can now say that our 3/4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces out of 8. And our 1/2 is 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8. Now this time, I only need to shade the purple. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I need to remove my 4/8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am taking these away. Let me grab a different color here. I was hoping that would show up a little bit better. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So I'm taking those 4 away, and that leaves me with 2 pieces out of the 8 left. 6 minus 4 is 2. We still have 8 pieces. Okay, now let's take a look at our other version of a strip diagram. Please forgive the bell. All right. I need my total and what I plan to remove. Start with 3/4, so there's my half and my 4ths and half. Let me change colors this time to make this a little easier for you to see. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm removing 1/2. Now, just like we did before, we have to find our least common denominator. And in this case, we multiplied 4 times 2, which equals 8. So I need to turn 4 pieces into 8 and 2 pieces into 8. So here's me creating 8 pieces and 8 pieces. All right, now that I have actual equivalent denominators, I know that 3/4 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths, and my 1/2 is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths. And now we can do the actual computation. So I have half, 4ths, 4ths. Now remember, I need to shade my total right now because I'm subtracting. So I need to make sure that I do not shade this because this is what I'm taking away. So I need to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I am taking away 4 of these. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the ones being taken away, which leaves me with 1, 2 pieces left shaded out of the 8. 6 minus 4 is 2, all over 8. Okay. So there is your strip diagram versions of these. And for those of you that would like the connection, let's go ahead and look at our Potter's Glasses version. Okay. 2/3 plus 1/4. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. We're still adding. 3 times 4 is 12. And look at this, 8/12, 3/12. 8 plus 3 is 11. Our denominator stays the same with the 12ths. Okay, easy, easy, easy. And our subtraction problem. 3/4 minus 1/2. 4 times 1 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. We're still subtracting. 4 times 2 is 8. And look at this, 6/8, 6/8, 4/8, 4/8. 6 minus 4 is 2. The denominator stays the same. We can technically reduce this. We could divide the top and bottom by 2 for the reduced equivalent fraction of 1/4. Okay, so 2/8 is the same as 1/4. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it gives you a different view on the material, and we will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.